Welcome to the ALA. This is the secret podcast emanating from Headline Books. My name is Jeff Weber, and with me right now is Patricia Miller. And guess what? We're going to talk about her books, Mysterious Tales of the Unexplained, a 3-volume set, no less. Oh my gosh, she's got a lot of explaining to do. So first, tell me about yourself and these books.
All right, so I've been a lifelong lover of mysteries, anything mystery. I went through the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew stage and graduated into Agatha Christie, and I love her. I loved her so much that I decided to study her works. So I researched and studied them and picked them apart and to try to understand what makes a good mystery good. So when I was reading mysteries, I started, not hers, but I started thinking, why doesn't it go this way or why doesn't it go that way? And then after a while I thought, okay, if you're going to say that, you need to start writing. So I started writing to get published in 2007. But I wrote a lot before that just stayed, in the dust in my drawers and whatnot. So, but I'm also a licensed professional clinical counselor with a supervisory designation. I've been practicing for 35 years, and I currently work for Cleveland Clinic, Union Hospital Behavioral Health Center.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
Did you discover mysteries in your work?
No, but you'd be surprised how much it can relate. As far as like having the honor of working with so many people, understanding what makes them tick and how they think and how they live and what their desires and goals are. So that's one of the reasons why I truly believe that character development is every bit as important, if not more, than plotting. And I do workshops I've done grades 7 through 9 to help them understand that if you truly do a really good character profile and you really understand your characters, they can actually help you write your story.
I believe that. So tell me about one mystery. Just tell me one mystery.
Okay. Oh, in the books, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So one mystery is in number 1. It's actually the novella, because each one of these have 4 separate mysteries in each one. And each book. And I wanted to tell you that they're illustrated by middle school and high school art students as well.
Oh, that's very cool.
So I love working with the kids. But the very first one that I wrote for this series took place in a theater. So there is a death in the theater, and there's all sorts of other things happening. Things are disappearing, and there's all sorts of obviously characters on the stage. And there is an amateur sleuth that gets involved, and her name is Kelsie Raymond. And a lot of reviewers have called her a modern-day Nancy Drew, and I had such great response to her that I had to keep her. So she now has 2 to 3 of these stories in each of these volumes. People really love her. But it turns out that she's able to get into the places and talk to the people who won't talk to the police. So that's how she figures out, and then she realizes that she has a knack for this. So she has an uncle who's a sheriff who then starts letting her help him and hear about his cases. So she progresses from there on. I'm actually working on a cozy mystery series where I've taken her and I've aged her, because these really are aimed at middle grade. So I have readers from middle grade all the way up into their 80s, because everyone likes cozy mysteries. But I aged her, and she's in her 20s in that series, because people just like her so much that why not?
What is your writing style? Do you get up at 5 in the morning and write for 2 hours? Because you've got a full-time job. You've got a lot of responsibility.
I am very lucky that I now work part-time. So I'm lucky there. I work part-time for Cleveland Clinic. I also see patients in a private practice. Yes.
Hence my question.
So, hence your question. So on my days, I'm very, very regimented. If you're not scheduled, you're not going to get any writing done. So here's what I do. So my days off, I have a certain time frame that I know I'm going to be in my writing room, and without fail, I'm in that writing room. But I think some other authors might have thought of this already. So what I do is I write the scene or the scenes or the number of words that I can get done that day. And then before I leave, I write down where it's going next. That way when I come back in, I don't have to review and figure out where I'm going. It's all right there. I figure out these are the scenes that have to be written next. And I do that every single time.
Do you outline your book before?
I start out with character profiles like I had discussed before so that I know all my characters. And then I have a vague outline just so that you know where it starts, where it's going, and where it ends. But when I'm writing, I know this sounds like a lot of words, but when I'm writing, I also then write the actual outline of where it goes, because sometimes it goes a little different, right? You think of wonderful ideas, you think of different directions to go, or ooh, that would be great if I stuck that little piece in. So I have an outline that I'm writing that way, and I highlight important things that way when I'm writing, and I think, okay, was his hair brown, or was it you know what I mean, or was it Dave or David? What did I call him before? So I can go back and I can see it's highlighted already, and it's easy for me to find, and so I know where things are going. So I'm very regimented, or it wouldn't get done.
So, speaking of mysteries, it's not a mystery where we can find your books, right?
No. Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart.com. You can go into your local bookstore and order them.
I think that's fantastic. Got another one coming out, volume 4?
Actually, yes, it's coming out in July. Yeah, it's already written, obviously, and I would like to emphasize about the illustrators because they do a lot of work. So these are middle school and high school art students, and they put a lot of work into this. They know that I do one book a year, and here's an example.
That's great.
And so what happens is I write the book, and then I figure out which scenes I want depicted. And then they know that I put out like a thing that says, okay, open for sketch submissions. And then they email me, I email them all of the specifics. And then they decide which ones they want to try, and then they get into me, by a deadline. But the only reason that 4 was not ready for ALA was because a couple of them didn't have their permission slips in to be published. I have to have parental permission slips for them to be published. So so.
Patricia Miller, our guest today, and it's no mystery why she's here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.